Otherworldlyculture.com.
I had something, but I forgot it. .com. And an umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 2015 Creed and the 2010 Let Me In, starring Sylvester Stallone, Cody Smit-McPhee, Chloe Grace Moretz, Tessa Thompson, Michael B. Jordan, Richard Jenkins, and Felicia Rashad. Now two guys who know it's cold outside when they go outside and it's cold. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller.
I can't believe I made it to season 10
Why?
before you did something like that. Oh my God. Really? That's the joke at the beginning?
Well, when do you know
You're
it's
running out of material. You are running out of material.
when it's cold outside? That's when you know.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dead on the Bases. I'm the vamp, Tim Kretschmann. He's Jeff Miller. We call him the ump. He is so talented, he once tied his tongue with a cherry stem.
You're the one who's running out of material. Oh my God.
I'm just telling you.
I almost used that this week. Could you imagine?
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding.
For those of you that this is your first show, first of all, who is the person that dislikes you until you start watching
Why
the
are
show?
you here?
Yeah.
You must be really bored.
What we do is I'm a horror fan. He's a sports fan. I have to watch a horrible, disgusting sports movie. And he gets to watch a nice, wholesome horror film that fills his heart with joy. This week, he gets to watch Let Me In by Matt Reeves. And I saw Creed.
How come it doesn't? How come it doesn't read Creed on there?
That was just the particular poster that I picked.
Well, you're getting sloppy.
Well,
You're getting lazy.
I wanted the word Creed in a different spot, and you'll see that when we get to mine.
Wow. Hey, can I tell you something? Okay,
Yeah, you can tell me something.
Wait, what were we going to say?
No, go ahead.
So, I went to Chick-fil-A this week.
Obviously.
And here's my Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we saw it already.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So, they have this thing there that you can buy a cup, but it's in a bag. And they have 4 different ones like this, different options. And then one is a gold one. If you get the gold one, you get free Chick-fil-A for a year. I didn't get it, but I got the cool retro one. This is the OG. This is the OG one. This is really cool. And the thing of it is that, like they always say at Chick-fil-A, if you're not eating Chick-fil-A, you're eating pigeon.
What? Is this another thing where you think we're going to get them as an advertisement?
No, I'm just saying, think about it. If you're not eating Chick-fil-A, you're probably eating pigeon at wherever else you go. Chick-fil-A's got chicken. It's right in their name, chicken.
All right. So, anyway.
It's true. It's true. Popeyes, you think you're eating spinach. What about what's the other place called? Racers or something? Or what's the other place?
Jeff?
Raging Cane's. You think you're eating someone from Louisiana Tech.
Jeff? How many fingers am I holding up?
2.
Hold on.
2. I got it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
Now, I found something out while I was putting together some of the material for the show. I promise you I'm not this much forethought. I did not know how many similarities there are between the 2 directors that made these movies. Okay? And you may not recognize it right off the top. Okay? No, I'm being serious.
I know you are. That's the whole thing.
Because
I know you are.
You would say, oh, a Philadelphia boxing movie and a New Mexico vampire flick, right? It doesn't seem like they have much in common. But the directors are Matt Reeves and Ryan Coogler, right?
Sure.
So these directors are surprisingly similar in a lot of things. First of all, the movie that we're doing, both of them are considered their sophomore feature film, meaning their second feature film.
Okay.
Okay. With Coogler, it was a Fruitvale Station, I believe, was the first movie.
Yeah.
And the first movie for Reeves was Cloverfield.
Absolutely, 100%. You're right on that.
Yeah. Okay. Both directors have made vampire films. Obviously,
Really?
the one you saw here, Reeves, is a vampire movie. But Coogler came out with Sinners this year, which has gotten a lot of critical acclaim, etc. They've both of them, their films are very well reviewed, and they've had extremely successful comic book adaptions financially. Coogler had the Black Panther movies, and Reeves put out the Batman, which we saw together. You know, both directors are in charge of these really huge franchises right now, and have some big decisions going on right now. Coogler has the Sinners franchise, and he famously, if you ever get into that with him, he negotiated that he has full control of that franchise.
Okay.
The studio has nothing, but they have to pay him a ton if they continue to make movies with him. So he got like one of the best deals in Hollywood. Reeves did the Batman before they named James Gunn to be in charge of all the DC properties. And he's kind of in the catbird seat because the Batman did extremely well, and they want him to make more movies, but they're not sure if that's going to fit with all the other DC plans. So he's kind of in a what's going to happen next type situation. So all of this stuff is happening with the two movies that we have today. A lot of, I mean, it's just odd that it came up that way. That was not something I planned.
I did.
Of course you did.
When I saw what you were going to have
Jeff,
for my movie, I planned to have Creed.
You always bring the goods.
I do.
We know that about you, Jeff.
Well, you got to plan. You have to do a little bit of planning sometimes.
Right. And that's what you do. Very little. All right. So let's get the show.
What's that word?
You know, this is got
What's trackhead?
Tracked?
Yeah.
TRAKT is the service I use to keep track of all the movies that I watch.
Tracketed.
Tracketed. Okay. This is how the show's going to be, everybody. I apologize in advance. So let's get things going.
I'm going to apologize a lot during. Okay, anyways. So.
Why is that showing up? Dang it.
What about my...
It should any second be coming up there that'll say everybody.
There we go.
At otherworldlyculture.com is the email. You know, we have to say it a little more often because all of the people that listen to our show, which is a hell of a lot more than actually watch it, they're sitting there going, how can I get a hold of Jeff?
It's Jeff, Jeff, at otherworldlyculture.com. So for the people that watch it, though, I think I'm going to get like a black slate and put it behind it so you can actually see the wording.
No.
I don't like the white.
No, I don't want people to see the wording.
I might get like a black garbage bag to put across that.
I mean, the minute you start getting email, your ego's going to...
I have so many egos. So many egos. I have so many egos along with...
He has a lot of ego, everybody.
Each one of my personalities has got its own ego. Let me just tell you.
Tell us about the movie Let Me In!
Okay. Bring it down a little bit. The reason why I say that. No, the reason why I say bring it down is because this movie is very slow, dark. The music, the score is very somber. It is a 2010 movie. It's rated R, and it is an hour and 56 minutes long.
You can read along at imdb.com if you're looking for that information.
Actually not. So here's the thing. So it's a 2010 movie. It's rated R. It's an hour and 56 minutes long. But the thing of it is that with this movie, okay, so if you followed our podcast before, you know that I watched Predator 2. And in Predator 2, it opens up extremely, wow, what's going on? It's like I mentioned, it's like eating soup from the middle of the bowl. This movie starts out the same way. It starts out, you're eating soup out of the middle of the bowl. You don't know what's going on. It is very intense and very crazy. So in that respect,
I agree with the crazy.
Yeah, in that respect, it's kind of like a movie like Predator 2. So watch the beginning of Predator 2. You're going to know what I'm talking about. Or just get a bowl of soup and start eating out of the middle. And you're going to know exactly what I mean about the beginning of this movie. But eventually it moves to the edge of the bowl and you start putting the pieces together. I don't even know why that's so funny to you.
You actually think this? Okay, go ahead.
No, it's true.
You think this is something people are like, oh yeah, I know exactly what
I do. I think someone's going to go home. They're going to get themselves a bowl of alphabet soup.
Really?
They're going to heat it up, and they're going to start eating out of the middle. They're going to go, whoa, this is like Predator 2. This is like Let Me In. And then they're going to move to the edge of the soup, and they're going to be like, I understand.
This is just not an analogy that's going to play. But go ahead.
anyways, so what happens in the very beginning? It's just chaos. Chaos is going on. You're like, I don't even know what's going on. I didn't know what was going on. I was sitting there with my dog, and I'm just like, what's going on? He goes, I don't know. So we're just, I don't know what's going on.
Usually Tango is more helpful than you. In this
he kind of is. So we're watching this a little bit, but shortly after that, you find out that this is going to be a story about a 12-year-old boy who you kind of feel bad for him because he doesn't have any friends. This takes place probably Wisconsin, Minnesota, somewhere where there's a lot of snow.
It's New Mexico.
Okay, why is there snow then?
Yeah. But it was actually even shot in New Mexico.
I call BS on that. I'm going to look it up because I think this is supposed to take place in a northern city. But anyways, regardless of the fact, okay, are there mountains down there?
That must be what it is.
And why is it so dark?
I kept looking it up because I was like, New Mexico, really?
Okay, well, I'm going to write...
Apparently, it's not just the desert. I thought it was all desert out.
Well, I'm going to write to the producer and all that. I'm going to say, hey, what's going on?
And you know what they're going to say? Oh, my God, this is the Jeff Miller from Dead on the Bases.
16
Let
years.
me take a note.
16 years after the movie was released.
Let me take a note.
Okay, so let's say it's New Mexico.
I don't know if I can make the Batman 2. I made a mistake on Let Me In 16 years ago.
Let's say that this is okay. Let's say wherever it is. Let's say it's Honolulu and it's snowing. All right, whatever. So this is a kid that. Okay,
Jeff, it's not.
But this is what I got. But this is why. Okay, but here, hold on. Okay, no, it's not. NCAA palm trees. But listen, doesn't this remind you of when you were a kid and it was 4:00 in the afternoon? It was dark. I'm thinking that's what this was. All right.
Yeah.
So that's where I got this. But okay, regardless of the fact, that doesn't really make a difference. But it does kind of.
I will help you with one thing. This was a remake.
Yes.
Of a Swedish film.
Yes.
And it had the snow, and because Sweden, that's the land of the midnight sun, right? They have very dark winters there. So this really captured that time. And keep in mind, if you're a vampire, you're liking this time of year.
Exactly. Okay.
You're liking this time of year.
Right. So
we finally got sunlight today, and I was like, I was thinking, it's 20 degrees out. I think I'm going to take my pants off.
Oh, my God. Anyways, back to the movie. So I'm just going to go right over that. Anyways, so it was Swedish film. So then what we're basically saying is that the director, the producer, the writer, they were all lazy because if this is going to be in New Mexico, they shouldn't have done that. But anyways, let's get back to this. I want to get off the snow aspect. Here we go. So there's snow there. So let me just remind you about the snow.
Jeff is getting off of the snow aspect by telling you there's snow.
So in the Twilight series, snow was a big deal too, wasn't it?
I didn't watch the Twilight series.
I did. I have a wife, so I had to watch that. So anyways,
you poor bastard.
Okay, so here's ding ding.
I give you nice family films to watch.
We'll get to that. So okay, let's get back into this movie because I don't want to stay in the middle of the bowl for you. I want to move to the edge. So there's this 12-year-old boy. He's a loner because he doesn't really have any friends. You know, I mean, this takes place in 1983. He doesn't have really any friends. His mom and his dad, you find out, are splitting up. So he's a kid with a single parent. They're living in like an apartment unit, right? But the cool thing is he goes to the arcade, so you see some arcade games. He's eating now and laters, so you get that 80s feel, which is kind of cool. I mean, I did get that.
And I thought it was interesting that they did decide to keep it in the 80s.
I liked it.
All that. I think that helps because there isn't a whole, well, why didn't he grab a cell phone? Why didn't he this? Why didn't that? It's like it was a quieter time.
So, yes, with a Rubik's Cube. And you're going to find a Rubik's Cube is in there. And I saw that. I'm like, I have a Rubik's Cube. So I started to relate to this kid. I didn't have a whole lot of friends either growing up, so I mean, I was kind of relating to this dude.
So did you buy a jackknife and
no, I didn't.
Ripping into a tree?
I never did that.
See, to a certain extent, when I saw this the first time, I also really connected with it.
Thank you. I did.
Now, rewatching it, I'm kind of like, he kind of is a little bit of a serial killer in training.
Right.
He doesn't have friends. He's a loner. He has a lot of anger issues that are underneath everything. And he doesn't connect with his parents at all.
No, but his mom, okay, you don't see...
The father is absent.
He's gone, but the mom, you see her for a brief moment. It's like a Tony Moran. You see her for a brief moment, and you don't see her really anymore. You see her...
you don't see her face at all.
You don't see her at all. You see her once for a brief second. But anyways, the kid's a loner, so all of a sudden... And he's also a little voyeur, isn't he? He's a little voyeur. He's got a little voyeurism going on.
Yeah, he's a little twisted little guy.
But I wonder if that's because he doesn't have any brothers and sisters. His parents split up. He's 12. Who knows? But anyways, you see him looking. You know what I liked about him looking, the voyeurism part? Is that when you see this in other movies, let's say the movie 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
The cool thing is that when he's looking at it, you see the light on his eye.
Yeah.
So you kind of know that he's like really looking at this stuff. You know what I'm kind of getting at? It gives it more of a real effect to it.
You also realize he's keeping the lights off so he doesn't get caught.
Right. No, I get that.
Right.
But I like that because it sort of seems more real. I don't know why, but it just seems more real than a camera lens going, okay, that's what he's looking at.
Right.
Anyways, so he's a little bit of a voyeur. So now he realizes somebody new is moving into his apartment, right?
Yep.
He figures this out. You know, he's out playing with a Rubik's Cube or something outside. And this little girl comes by, and she doesn't really give her age. She's around the same age as him. She says she's around his age. And you know that there's something off about her because she's out there without any shoes on. And but again...
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And he notices it, too. And she's like, no, I don't ever get cold.
But like every man... If you look at the girl and you think she's attractive, which Chloe Grace Moretz, if you're that age, you're like...
Yeah.
She's smoking hot.
Yeah.
For that age, you will forgive almost anything like walking around in bare feet in the snow.
Okay, I'll tell you.
You're like,
you know what?
Whatever.
You don't have
that's normal.
You don't have to be that age. You can be any age. And if they're looking good, you can just go.
And they're looking good, you just... she just grabbed a living rabbit and ripped its head right off.
Okay.
But, everybody's got their eccentricities.
Yeah, she looks good in a crop top.
Right.
Anyways, so he looks past that, right? But she flat out tells him, man, I can't be your friend. And you're watching this movie, you're like, okay, there's something up because she can't be the friend. But there's some other things going on. This person that is her dad, he's actually... going out, and so it turns out that this movie, there's some killing going on, and you're like, hell, man, this guy's a serial killer because he does kill someone, right? And the thing of it is that now you're starting to get a feel for what this is all about, and I didn't put it together about her right away, but he drains the blood from this person, and you're like, I've seen enough, I know enough that that's because it's blood, it's for a vampire's got to live. But in my mind, I'm thinking it's for him. I didn't put it together until
later on.
Until a little bit later on in the movie. Right. So where I'm going with this is I'm catching up in my head here. Hold on. All right. So all this is happening, right? Wasn't that wicked?
I thought I saw something going back.
Wasn't that wicked? I can say this. What wasn't that wicked that he had a
plastic garbage bag?
That was a wicked looking, not a costume, but a disguise. That was wicked. So that was. So anyways, it was because that's scary crap, man. So anyways, think about that. You're looking in your rearview mirror, you see a guy with a bag over his head, but it's got the eyes poked out. You don't know what that is. But anyways, the little kid, you find out that he's getting picked on at school. He's got these bullies that are picking on him.
And they're pretty bad bullies.
They are because
they're pretty bad.
And you know what? It sucked because it's never happened to me. When he was getting his underwear pulled up on it, I felt so bad for him. I mean, and then he urinates.
Right.
And I'm like,
they scared the piss out of him.
I felt so bad for him. I really did. You know, I mean, it was too bad, and you can see him getting beat up, and you can see why he was.
This movie really draws you in.
It does.
Draws you.
It draws you in.
Yeah.
So now he's making more friends with this girl. I don't even remember her name in the movie. It's Molly or Allie or Polly or something. Somebody spells her.
It's Abby, if I remember.
It's Abby, and then her dad spells it wrong anyways on the piece of paper. Sorry, Abby. Come on. Anyways,
no, he spelled Abby right. He misspelled sorry.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you're right. He did spell sorry wrong.
Yeah.
Sory.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not know that? But anyways, so back to this. So he starts making friends with her. She starts becoming his friend, and you can see that there.
It's a soup from the middle. That's probably why he spells things.
You can see a connection coming, and I think she can just tell that he's a sweet person. But then you see now.
But is he?
I think to her,
that's the thing I think it's with this time.
I think I don't know that. I think it's sweet enough for her not to draw him in to that part where he could die. But
here's what I'm gonna say.
You can say what you want to say.
I think that at the beginning she meant it. Hey, we can't be friends,
right? Because she didn't want to hurt him.
But then he drew her in. Because she saw something that she recognized that she liked in a young person before.
Okay. Yes,
and we'll get to what I'm referencing.
Can I get to that?
And we're not going to talk about that here because that's too big of a giveaway. But the whole time, really, when you watch this over and over, the question is...
Over and over? I'm watching it once and I'm done.
Yeah, I know. But I've watched a number of times. And I've watched the original. I always come with... How much is she manipulating the boy? And how much is she actually getting feelings for the boy? I mean, how much can a vampire emote, you know?
Okay.
I
don't know what emote means.
Have emotions.
Okay.
Can they have emotions? Because if you watch this movie one way, it looks like she's fallen in love. If you watch it another way, you're like, she is totally just playing this kid.
So the way that I watched this movie, because all of a sudden,
like a 1,000-year-old vampire, and she knows all the tricks.
But here's the thing, though. Why is there the book of Romeo and Juliet? So you're supposed to start thinking they're two different sides of the coin, and they're going to get together. They're not. They're star-crossed. And I really, in my mind, and people can watch this for themselves, I think she starts to really love him and care for him. And I think him, in a way, being a boy, going, yeah, I like this, you know, I mean, but, okay, so the thing of it is, and I also think she feels pity. I think she feels pity on him, too, as far as the kids beating up on him. And the thing about the kids...
I think she lets him think that she's worried about him. I don't know that she actually is. See, and that's the thing. I can watch this again in another month, and I'll be playing the other side and saying, no, she's totally going for him.
But she tells him to stick up for himself, and she wants someone that I think she wants to be with someone or have someone in her life that can stick up for themselves, and that's why I think she's
protect her.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Right. And that was a cool scene. But the thing of it is that the thing about the bullies, and I think I want to talk about this because it took me a second when I watched this. Mm-hmm. So the main bully, he's calling them a girl all the time. You're a girl, you're a girl, you're a girl. Right.
Which is why they had to set it in the 80s. Let's face it.
Because you could say...
You couldn't say that today. They you know...
There's so many things you can't say today, and I wish I could say them right now, but I can't. I don't want us to get canceled by any chance. I don't want people to go away from our show.
Well...
Exactly. No, I get it.
And you don't want to say that she's a little bleeding cunt.
Tim, I can't.
Get over there.
I can't get
There we go.
I can't get on. I can't get on.
I get you to stretch. It's like a yoga class when you're in there with.
So anyways, but the thing about it, the thing that I thought that they brought around full circle, which was kind of interesting, was that the main guy that was picking on him, right? You're a little girl, you're a little girl.
Yeah.
After, you know what? I hate that I can't remember people's names. After Owen, the character Owen, cracks him with that stick, which was awesome. You find out that the kid that was bullying him is actually bullied by his own brother, and he calls him calls the bully himself, calls him a little girl. Yep. So you can see where
it's
that
just
can get
going
brought down.
downhill. It's rolling downhill.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you got all this going on. So there are a couple murders that happen, and you have a police officer, and he's checking into all this. And you have some scenes that are kind of, I mean, they're intense. I'll say that right now. There's some intense scenes, and I mean, I think you'll agree with that. I don't want to really.
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay. So there's a scene, and I'm not going to blow this, but I'm going to tell you a little bit. There's a scene where Owen takes Abby, and he shows them this secret room in the apartment complex, which I find kind of weird. But there's some secret room. I mean, how does nobody know about it? But they find this secret room, right? And he's like, and all of a sudden, something happens, and she goes mental.
Yep.
And the fact that she cares about him I think is why she left him there.
Right.
But she, and this isn't ruining anything. She goes and she attacks someone, and that attack scene is one of the more intense attack scenes I've seen.
It's absolutely wild.
It is wild. It is wild. It's pretty feral. You know, I did write some notes down, and I mean, I played this still. I do this occasionally.
Yeah.
And I just want to. I don't want to miss anything because I know my reviews are just so right there.
Yeah, they're right.
All right,
there,
so let's see. The guy who jumped can't spell. Okay. I have creepy. When I started watching this, and I'll attest to this still. It's a very slow moving movie. I mean,
it absolutely is.
It feels longer than what it is.
Yeah, if I would have given you the Swedish version, you would have killed me because it's about. It's a lot slower.
Well,
and you're reading the whole.
I was going to say that I would not.
Yeah.
My wife and I started watching another movie this weekend.
Yeah.
And we won't even get off on this, but
yes, you will. You always.
But it was reading, and I'm like, oh, we're not doing this. She goes, yeah, we're not doing this. So we turn it off. I don't even know. It could be an Oscar-winning movie. I'm like, we're not doing this. So thank you for not giving me the Swedish version. So it's a very feral scene. You find out that it is actually a modern horror Romeo and Juliet like romance. It's kind of like a horror romance in a way. It kind of is. And I can say that. I think I can say that. And you're going to say, "Oh, Jeff, you read that." But it helps. But when I read it, it helps me bring out what I want to say.
They definitely reference Romeo and Juliet. They definitely reference it
3 times.
So there is that aspect there. But I always say, okay, is she manipulating him or not? But because that's what women do.
It is, and I can attest to that. But here's the thing. But I think that's what makes this movie as good as it is because
there's a lot of different ways to approach it.
And I'll be honest with you, you guys have watched this. People who have watched this show before know that I probably never go back and watch a movie. There's a couple of Trick or Treat, The Thing, stuff like that. This is a movie that I would actually go back and watch it. I wouldn't watch it tomorrow, but I can see myself watching this again. And I bet you if I watch it again, I'm gonna get a different feel for this. But
yeah.
I think they put this together very well. I think the actors did a great job. I mean, there's movies that you go to, Tim, and you know this, that you're watching and you're like, yeah, it's a movie. But there's movies that you go to and you're like, I didn't feel like I was in a movie with this. This was, and I go in.
I watched one last night. I watched Fountain of Youth, and I was like really excited to watch it. I like Guy Ritchie, and we were about halfway through that flick, and I'm like, yeah, this is one time that I'll be watching this movie. It was extremely okay.
Yeah.
You know, and this movie, I think you're going to either react where you really don't like it, or you're going to like it. That's what I think. I'll be interested to hear what your
If you can get past the slow pace of this, the extremely slow pace, because there is some stuff that is so intricate.
It's funny hearing you say that, though, because the Swedish version is like Hold My Beer. It is so slow compared to this. There's a lot more action that happens in it. Every time I watch the American version, I'm like, wow, this is much better paced. Like the Swedish version. And I love the Swedish version. I think the Swedish version has a better climactic scene. But I got to be real careful.
Yeah, you better be careful. Don't you spoil my movie.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Don't you do it.
But I I feel like this movie is made for an American audience, but it is a slow burn.
Okay.
It's a slow burn to get there.
Let's do this. Okay, this is 2010. And I can see people in 2010 having more patience to watch this than people now. Just like with a baseball game. You didn't have, yeah, great. The correct counsel right on cue. You didn't have games that had
a vampire. You
didn't have baseball games that had a pitch clock and had all this sort of stuff. Yeah. Now you have that to shorten it up because of the attention span. But when you have a movie where the police officer is going to the apartment and he's looking at each mailbox slowly with his finger, and you just see his finger, and it's taking like forever for him to get all the way through it. You're like,
but that's why it builds the tension that it does.
It does, but it's just so slow.
I don't want to ruin that sequence, but the music during that sequence, it sneaks up on you and tells you how you're supposed to feel. It really does a good job.
The music during the whole thing, I think it's just, I mean, even right from the very beginning when you're in the middle of that bowl of soup, this music really draws you in. So I think I'm ready to give you my.
Well, I think
I'm giving you my
something else is about to happen. That's right. It's the Dick Van Patten connection.
EVP.
Do you think I found one?
I'm sure you did. If you have it up there, you did.
Chloe Grace Moretz was in the movie If I Stay, which starred Stacy Keach, which was in the movie The Santa Trap with Dick Van Patten. I am finding a lot of connections through Santa Trap. It's one of those movies.
You shouldn't get to do that. You should only get like 3 Santa Traps and then have to pick something else. I'll tell you what. Next year, when you connect everything to Craig Counsell, then you can do it. Oh my God. I will never do that. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess this is what you're going to have to live with. I don't care about Craig Counsell enough to do that. You actually do. You love him I don't. So much. All right. Tell us, what is your score, Jeffy baby? You know what? Here, I'll help you. Yeah. No, you know what? I mean, I can't really hate on this. And like I had mentioned in other shows, that if it has a story, it gets more points. This is a really. I'm going to give this a nice solid 8. I really am. Really? I think it's that good. It's something that I would actually go back and revisit. Yeah, and I'm going to after the show you the Swedish version, the climax. Okay. And you can decide which one you like better on that. But I believe this is one of those movies that when you watch it the second time, when you watch it the third time, you come up with all sorts of different shit. You just I don't think I'll be watching it 3 times. I know this isn't your type of thing. I think we've all established I'm kind of a monster guy, but I love vampire more than anything else. I did a class on vampire literature. You did? When I was in college. Wow. Yeah, it was an independent study. Vampire in literature, and I read something like 8 books. Vampire books, and who has time to read 8 books? This was before Twilight. Twilight just came out when I did this. Who has time to read a book? Yeah, let alone 8. Oh my God! Oh, I'm getting the vapors. I'm getting the vapors, everybody. You know what? It's time vapors. What the hell are you talking about? Jeff, you know what? Jeff, I wanted to mention this before. Did you see that the American Film Institute added the movie The Thing to its great movie? I did. Do you realize it was the biggest vote getter this year? That people are like, it's time to get 1982's The Thing on. That's why you... And what I heard is that in the deliberation room, people are saying, you know, Jeff Miller really likes The Thing. The Thing. See, people just have to watch my reviews. You'll know what horror movies to watch, which ones not to. That's right. Let's make some merch money. Let's make some merch money. We're going to make some merch money this year. I'm thinking about getting coasters, and I'm thinking about getting tumblers, like Yetis. I don't know, man. I think we got a market going. I don't know. I like the new music. Yes. Open it up. Let's go style. Holy cow, did that bring back memory right there? Oh my God. For those of you listening, Jeff is freaking out. Pictures of Parkland Mall, which was a mall that was pulled down here in Muskego
Probably around 2000.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It's
been forever.
Did you when
it became a dirt mall in later days.
No, do you remember the areas in there where you could sit?
Know me if it was a dirt.
Do you remember the areas where you could sit, like the little?
Yeah.
Do you remember how the bricks were slanted? I used to run like sideways on those.
And I know people that skateboarded in there.
Really? I couldn't do that.
And people that took their bike in there because
get out of here.
That place was so out of it. I knew the guy that had the insurance business in the middle because I was in the Future Business Leaders of America, if you remember.
We went to state, okay?
Yeah, we did. And he was in the Chamber of Commerce. He was president of the Chamber of Commerce at the time. And I was sitting in his office one time. He's like, yeah, all the time. It's crazy what goes on in this mall because nobody was watching it. That was 87.
What?
That was 87 and this was going on all right. Value Village was already in there by that time.
Well, Value Village was in there earlier than that.
The mall got bought up by one entity pretty much. And
Value Village was in there in 80. Because I bought my basketball shoes from Value Village.
Did you?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I wish I still had
I don't know anybody that bought a lot at Value
No.
Village. It was like let's go see what's there, and it was nothing more.
So let's put it this way. I was not going to be playing a lot on the St. Leonard's basketball team.
Really?
And I think my folks knew that. So they're like, we got to get him basketball shoes. Let's go to Value Village. Everybody else on the team, all the other 9 are sporting Nikes. Jeff had the big old VVs, the Value Village specials.
Well, let's remind everybody, coming every Thursday, we have a different show. We have 3 shows that we cycle through. Next week, it'll be Dead On Movie Reviews. We're looking forward to having all of you join us each and every Thursday, and you can see all of our shows by subscribing, let's see if I can recognize all the icons. YouTube, Spotify, RSS feed, Pocket Cast, what is that? Podcast Live, I think. iHeart, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, and TuneIn.
Are they all free?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all free because you pay as much as it's worth. And
really, the most valuable one is Dead on the Bases. So that's really the only one.
That's what we always say here on Dead on the Bases. Want to remind everybody that Horror Realm is right around the corner, everybody.
Man,
just a quick look at some of the guests that we got coming.
27 days away.
Yeah, we have Clint Howard, we have Rhonda Shear, we have Jeff Kramer, Andrew Divoff, William Catt. We got a ton of people from Terrifier, a very young cast from there that will be there. And we're going to have Derek Mears, who was Jason in the reboot of Friday the 13th. Let's see, who else we got? We have a lot of the sorority of scares, as I call it. Some greatest women in horror are all going to be out there. There's a Silent Night, Deadly Night reunion that's going on. All 4 of the Santas from the 4 films will be there. Of course, one of those was Clint Howard, and another is Bill Moseley from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And Stretch, Caroline Williams, will be there as well. But more important than any of that is the wonderful moderators that we're going to have for the panels. There's some awful good-looking guys over on the right-hand side of your screen.
Wasn't there just, maybe you mentioned his name, wasn't there someone just recently added?
Yes, and I didn't get
What's his name?
Here. Tommy Lee Wallace. Lee Wallace, director of It, the mini-series, did Fright Night 2, and a bunch of other stuff, but I mean, Fright Night 2 was pretty much...
That's all you have to do is say Fright Night 2.
Top of line. But he actually has done a lot of horror credits, and there's a lot of people very excited about this year's Horror Realm. I think it's more guests than they planned on having.
Yeah, let's party though.
They overdid it, I think, and it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us to go on out to Horror Realm this year.
It's at a new venue too.
It's at a new venue. that's even more delicious than in the past.
It's bigger, better.
Bigger, better, more betterer.
And anybody who spots me there and says, hey, you're the ump from Dead on the Bases, you will get a souvenir.
Yeah. He'll give you a wet willy.
No,
hey,
no.
You know, Jeff.
You'll get a koozie.
Oh, people can send me an email at tim@otherworldlyculture.com. Hey, Jeff.
What, Tim?
I watched Creed.
I know you did.
I can't believe I didn't see this movie. It's 11 years old. And
what have you been doing?
This movie. I'm kind of wondering, because I think we had already started the show fairly early on, and I'm like, well, Jeff will surely assign this soon to me.
I've never watched it either.
Wait.
This is the first time I watched it, too.
Holy crud, I can't believe it took this long. Okay. I'm going to keep this kind of short and sweet on this.
Why?
Well, because we're running out of time.
Hurry.
But here's the thing.
Yep.
Here's the thing. This is, in essence, a remake of Rocky. In a lot of ways, this is a remake. It's supposed to be hitting a lot of the same story beats, but it does it in a way that I believe overall is less satisfying. But then again, you're comparing it to one of the classic films.
Academy Award-winning movie.
Yeah. So, is it as good as Rocky? I'm going to just start there and say, no, it's not as good as Rocky. Is it a good movie? Yeah, it's a hell of a good movie. It's very well shot. The acting is excellent. The story is where it's, I've got some issues with it, but it isn't that the story is lacking. It's that I didn't like what they did. Okay? One of the things that they did here, Creed or Adonis, I think was his
Donnie.
name.
Well, it can be.
Nobody call him Donnie. But anyway, you don't put Donnie in the corner. But here's the thing. The basic story of Rocky.
Yeah.
Is a guy that has absolutely nothing. He
Correct.
had that ugly mattress tied to the side of his wall. He had a goofy little turtle. And
he had two turtles.
He had to work as an enforcer for the mob.
Correct.
He was basically a criminal, that was trying to get out of this spiraling death trap that is Philadelphia, right?
Sure,
right? That's the story.
Yes.
In this movie, your protagonist is literally rich. He's affluent. He's
running a diner. He's got a restaurant.
You're talking about Rocky. I'm talking about Creed.
Sorry.
Adonis.
Okay.
Yeah. Adonis is, in fact.
Yes, he's got money. Yes.
Creed probably has more money than Rocky.
You're right.
At the beginning of this movie. And
correct.
what he does is he says, I don't really like my desk job, and he resigns.
You're right. Yes, you're right.
But here's the thing. With him resigning, I know they wanted to have him resign because they want to show, hey, he's capable.
Yes.
He could totally do this, but he decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is there's no stakes for him. If this boxing thing doesn't work, well, I'll just go back to my very highly paid desk job. I won't like it, but I'm going to, I'll suffer in a three-piece suit every day. Woe is me. This was not what you had with Rocky, where if he doesn't make it, he's going to be breaking people's arms and legs. And that, I think, was a major problem. And I think it was solvable. That's what drove me nuts. All they would have had to do, he had a temper problem. That you see from the beginning of the movie. He's got a temper problem. All you need to do is have him get fired instead of resigning.
Okay. I can see where that can make a difference, yeah.
He gets mad. He punches something, and it's like, hey, asshole, hit the road.
Don't worry,
get out of here. You're a bad influence on the office, what have you.
I see what you're saying.
I feel like that could have been done. The other part of Rocky, because there's two stories, right? There's the story of him becoming a top-notch boxer. There's the story of him wooing Adrian.
Yep.
But if you remember, in the love story, there's a major thing that gets in his way. Paulie. Right? There's always this Paulie character, and it's like, God, this guy is just insufferable. But that's what you were dealing with. This movie doesn't have that family drama side of things. Yes, it isn't like a smooth romance, but you don't have that kind of antagonist. In the movie Rocky, you have two antagonists. You have Paulie and you have Apollo Creed. Okay? Both of them are very well defined. You know where they're both coming from. We kind of like Apollo Creed because he seems to have his stuff together and, but he's still getting in the way of Rocky getting out of the mess he's in. Mm-hmm. So you want him to win against it. And Paulie, you just want something bad to fall on top of him or something. Paulie's just a pain, right? This movie, there really isn't the romantic problem, per se. And the antagonist, as far as who's in his way, you don't really get to know who that final guy is until you're, 50 minutes into the movie? Yeah. 60 minutes into the movie? And they don't really develop him as a character all that much. Which, there was a story there, because they talk about, well, he's going to have to go off to prison and blah, 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 blah. They had all that stuff. And I, right away, when I'm hearing that back storyline, I'm like, well, that's what they're going to use so that they can do sequels in the future. They were planning on sequels when they made this movie. I believe that. Tell it. Yeah. You can tell just so much. And I'm like, I don't like it when they're that cocky going into the film. So those were the things that bothered me. But what did I like? Well, I'll tell you, having Sly Stallone in there, that guy just still brings it. Yeah. He still brings it. Sure. He was excellent in there. The boxing sequences were the correct amount. And this is very difficult sometimes. Sometimes they're just in that damn ring for half the movie, and you're like, I want to claw my face off. I could have watched HBO instead. I could have watched HBO. Yeah, I could have watched like an actual boxing match, I got you, yeah. So it had the amount right, but they also shot it very interesting. They didn't like just have it look like sports footage, like you were watching on HBO. And by the way, 2015, right? Okay, now my memory isn't fantastic, but was boxing pretty well done even then? Yeah. Because it felt like they had all these HBO references. I'm like, half these guys were the commentators when I watched Mike Tyson fights. Mm-hmm. I just... Yeah, you're right. I think boxing is over. I think MMA... Yes. And a real sport like All-Star Wrestling... Of course. They've just been eating the lunch of boxing for so long. I mean, they're just, even they have Buffer saying, let's get ready to rumble in there. I'm like, holy crap, 2015, I'm sitting there going, was he still alive? Jeez. Was he still, well, I didn't know if he was still in the ring, because I don't think he's still in the ring. No. I think his brother is still doing MMA. But anyway, so I like that. I liked the agent for Pretty Ricky Conlon. Yeah. Was Graham McTavish, who was in the Hobbit trilogy. He was good. He was a good actor of what an agent would be. Like, no, we're calling the shots. This is how the thing's going to be. You're going to go under the name Creed, and some of that stuff. They did that well. I did like the callback to the original movie by having a turtle in Rocky's apartment. That was awesome. There's a lot of things that went back to the original Rocky. Actually, though, here's the thing. I don't think this is a spoiler. Please stop me if it is. But at the very, very, very end of the movie, they go to the Philadelphia Steps. Yeah, that's not a spoiler at all. Right. And I thought, let me think about this movie. Was there any moments like drinking the eggs? He didn't do that. Going up the stairs. Do it. I can't think of like an iconic moment.
He was running through the streets, and when Rocky ran through the streets, he had kids behind him. When Creed ran through the streets, he had these motorcycles behind him, if you remember.
Yeah.
That was similar. That was
supposed to be the iconic moment?
Well, yeah. And then they had the chasing the chicken. That was iconic, too.
Yeah, but it just didn't, like
it didn't feel
Rocky
like it.
going to the slaughter yard and punching the pigs.
Yeah. Cows.
Whatever it was. I'm a German. It's always going to be pork for me.
Jeez.
But I didn't get those feels.
I know what you're saying. No, I know what you're saying.
I didn't get those feels. I also felt the thing that they could have done to replace the lack of Paulie is they had, what was it, Felicia Rashad played the mom?
Yeah.
They could have had her, instead of being completely absent, her saying, well, I don't approve of this, and saying, I'm out of here. They could have had her there picking at him the whole time.
Could have been.
As Paulie was picking at Adrian and Rocky the whole time.
Paulie was right in the city. He came across the country, so Felicia was. Oh,
she could have,
but she didn't.
She
wasn't going to leave.
She wasn't going to go and make sure you don't fuck yourself up. But good.
She wasn't going to leave California. I'm just saying.
But you know what I'm saying? If you wanted to build that,
I get you. Yep.
It was right.
Did you get?
there.
Did you get any feel from when he put on the red, white, and blue trunks?
Other than I wrote down what is with these 2 foot wide trunks with the waistbands. I mean, those waistbands are.
But that's what it's like in boxing.
I know, that's weird, right?
Did you get the reference of why Creed was in the front and his other name was in the back? Did you get that? Okay, good.
Yeah, I got it. I understood it. I thought that was a good moment. And that paid off for a storyline that they really didn't earn.
I get you.
They didn't earn that, in my opinion. And let's face it, this movie went on to spawn 2 more sequels. It made a ton of money. They don't need my advice as to how to make a good movie. But what I can tell you is that felt missing to me. I felt like it was missing that ice rink scene. The only scene they had was that scene in the diner where they're talking. And I'm like, well, this is all the character development we're getting on the girlfriend.
But just think about it. Okay, that was 1976, and now this is 2015. No one goes ice skating. I mean, his girlfriend was a rock.
So they go bowling instead. Here's another thing. How much talking do these guys do with those mouth guards in their hand? It seemed like they were awful chatty out there. They seemed awful chatty to me. You know I'm right about this.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
You know I'm right about this. Hey, you know what time it is?
I don't know. DVD time?
It is horror movie connection time.
All right.
Had you said horror movie connection time, it would have been
DVD time. Hell yeah, it would have been.
Okay, so let's go through the list. That right there is Michael B. Jordan. Well, he's only got 2 out of 63 horror films are 2 out of 63 movies are horror films, which is a 3.2 percentage, which is damn close to being pathetic. But since one of them was one of the biggest movies of last year, and he's up for an Oscar for it, Sinners.
Oh, you mentioned that in the beginning.
Yeah, Sinners is a pretty big movie. It got something like 17 nominations or something. It's crazy what it got. So, and I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that movie, but he's a damn
horror
good
movie?
actor. Yeah, it's a vampire movie. Oh. I'll tell you what it is. And people don't like this, but it is plagiarism of the movie From Dusk Till Dawn.
Really?
It's plagiarism.
Really?
All they did is they took it from being a border town on Mexico and put it in antebellum South, right after the Civil War, kind of like turn of the century.
Really?
South. And a lot of it, you're just like, this is beat for beat. The problem is with that movie, if you thought Let Me In was glacial, this thing completely the slowest opening of a movie I've ever seen.
Is there a Salma Hayek in this?
There is not.
Oof.
They don't have something that hot. Oof. Okay, then we got Sly Stallone. We all know he's a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer.
But he still doesn't have any horror credits.
He doesn't.
But he was in the movie Victory, which we have done here on this program. Tessa Thompson, she's been doing a bunch of Marvel stuff, but she was also, she was a pretty big part in the new version of When a Stranger Calls, and she was in the horror film Annihilation. She has a total of 5 horror movies. She actually has more movie credits than Michael B. Jordan, 74.
Really?
I was shocked by that. But
I've never heard of her.
She does okay. Felicia Rashad, I'm going to tell you, there's technically 4 horror credits that she has, but she's a big old loser. I don't think they're of any note. And then we have Andre Ward, who is one of the... He's a boxer. He doesn't have any horror credits.
Oh my God, this is like no one with horror credits in it.
Yeah, well...
We never had one like this before.
Then we got Stitch. Well, by the way, this is not Lilo's friend. This is the guy that they literally made a speaking role out of the doctor that was a real doctor back when I used to watch. He was like Tyson's.
This guy was?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a real cut man. But guess what, Jeff?
What?
No horror credit. Big old loser. And then last...
but not least,
we have Graham McTavish. He has more credits than even Sylvester Stallone. A lot of credits. 139 movies he's made.
Really?
18 of which are horror films. But he's done a lot of voice work in video games that are part of those horror credits. So I'm not going to be he's fantastic. But... he did have a significant amount.
This has to be that sports movie that I've given you that has had the least amount of horror credits in it.
It really did. But
I think so.
I think it's because so many of the actors aren't really actors. They're actually people that are in the sport, and they just gave them speaking roles. Then let's get to
AVP. I hope it's a good one. Let's see.
I think this is a pretty good one. So I connected it with Michael B. Jordan. I connected it with a movie called Hotel Noir, which I am desperately looking for now because it looks like a really interesting movie.
It is a good movie.
And shut up. It stars a guy that I like quite a bit, Robert Forrester. Robert Forrester, of course, is a Hall of Famer from this show because he was in Alligator. He was the star of Alligator.
I remember that.
But I really like him. He's done a lot of horror films, Robert Forster. He did a lot of exploitation back in the day. And he is connected to Dick Van Patten in a movie that I got in a queue now, finally. Yeah. Demolition U. This has come up a couple times on this show. Demolition U. Which is Corey Haim doing Die Hard in an academy for youth that are not good. What do you call that? A reform school.
Yeah.
In a reform school. It's supposed to be a really trashy movie, which just makes me want to see it more.
No, you'll find some good notes in there of this movie. When you watch it, you'll find some stuff that you really enjoy.
Honest to God. All right, are you ready for the score?
Yeah.
Go ahead and guess what you think I'm going to give it.
Well, I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess what I think you're going to give it.
Yeah.
What I think you should give it.
Yeah.
I think you should give it an 8.
You are correct, but it is a low 8. It's a low 8. I'm like, it's a good movie.
It is a good movie. Good.
But I feel what I have a problem with this movie is I feel like with the few little things that I said, I think you could have taken this movie and made it great. I think it was like there.
When you pointed out,
they had all the right people, they had all the right things, and they made a couple decisions that I'm like, had you changed it just this little teeny bit, I think you get it.
I agree with you on all of that, except for the part of his mom. I don't ever see her leaving California. I don't see how they could make that happen.
Yeah.
Everything else, I agree with you, but I don't think that would be part of it.
I understand where you're coming from. Of course you're wrong, but I understand where you're coming from. Hey, guess what, Jeffy?
What's going on?
It's time for trivia. Now, the way this works is Jeff is going to read 3 statements to me, and one of them is going to be a big old honkin' lie, and I'm not going to notice, but I'm supposed to guess which one is the big honkin' lie, and tell him which one is the big honkin' lie.
All right.
And that's how that's supposed to go. And then vice versa. So, Jeff, if you could get yourself back in frame, you always do this.
Well, I don't want to see.
Yeah. Okay.
You usually put your notes up there.
Are you going first?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and read them. Let's go.
Okay. Minutes-wise, this is the second longest film in the Rocky saga. The longest is Rocky V. That's one. The next one is the boxer who knocks out Creed in the beginning, Danny Wheeler, is really a gold medal winner of the Olympics in real life. And 3, the Eastern European country of Georgia is the only country to release it without Creed in the title.
Okay, this is a very hard one
That's what she
because as I had mentioned, a lot of the people are actual boxers.
Where's your timer?
that are in
Where's your
here.
timer?
Oh yeah. Oh,
You don't get more time than me, man.
I missed it. There. So I'm gonna say the second one is true just because there are so many that were real boxers.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm gonna argue with you about time ever on this show, so I'm gonna say number 3 is the lie.
The one about the Eastern European country?
Yeah, the Eastern European one.
Big old.
So was it the time?
It was a time. And this is the longest Rocky
But
movie.
I was not gonna argue with you on that.
I know. That's why I felt could go that route.
Yes.
Just for a little bit of.
Oh, son of a
Stop
bitch.
it. Just so that we can tell you about that Eastern European country of Georgia, they released it under the title of The Legacy. So that was the only country in the world that did not put Creed in the title.
You know, it's my favorite of all time. The movie Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. In German, they did a direct word-for-word translation, but it sounds so cool.
Let's hear it.
Zurück zur Zukunft.
I like that.
Zurück zur Zukunft. That just sounds so awesome.
That's going to be my fantasy football name next year.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, let me in. Here they come.
All right, I'm turning this way.
Okay. Number 1.
Uno.
Matt Reeves was one of the 3 writers on Steven Seagal's movie Under Siege 2.
Oh, my God.
Number 2. Richard Jenkins, that's the dad. Richard Jenkins has been nominated for Academy Awards 3 times. And number 3, Richard Jenkins' first film is my favorite Western, Silverado. And I will tell you, that is in fact my favorite Western.
You got
to
be kidding me. Set the timer going. You got to be kidding me. Those are your questions?
Yes. Matt Reeves, one of 3 writers for Steven Seagal. Richard Jenkins, multiple Academy Awards, or Richard Jenkins in Silverado.
Read the Academy Awards one real quick again. The whole
Richard
thing.
Jenkins has been nominated for Academy Awards 3 times. Nominated.
Yeah, that's going to be the false one. That's my answer.
That is?
Yep.
You got it.
I didn't overthink this one, folks. I did not overthink this one.
You often are not. We usually don't think that you're thinking.
I know. But I didn't wait till the very end. I wanted to go with this one.
You shot with it.
I did.
Yeah, Richard Jenkins is a very highly regarded actor, but he has not been nominated.
At all.
I don't think ever.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I did not think you were going that route with this. I did not.
Yeah, I had a lot of other ones that I didn't use, particularly because we talked about the mom. I was going to tell you who that was, who that actress was.
Well, the one about Steven Seagal, I mean, I just had a feel of that one because you try to get me with those wacky ones, and I'm like,
that's not
this time.
Wacky.
Steven Seagal, Under Siege, come on. Unless he was
actually Under Siege 2.
Oh,
Under Siege 2. Not a quality film, by the way. So, Jeffy, baby, you have an 8-point lead. Almost all of that is due to look at the trivia. You're dominating on trivia. It is not the quality of the films, my God.
No, I've given you a good film.
Horror
Look,
fest.
2 7s and an 8.
You want to talk about horrifying? Look at the
2
list of
7s and an
movies
8.
I've had to do.
Come on.
Oh my God, I'm just about dying.
That's because I'm more fair with my
But
ratings.
let's take a look at what we got coming.
What do we
next
got
time.
coming up next week? What
Wow.
the hell?
Look at the sports film that just saved me.
Yes. You gotta love this. Come on. The Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan.
I have a preview for you.
Have you ever seen this one?
Yes.
Okay. But don't tell me because I don't want to be.
You don't want to cry all night.
No.
Okay. For those that don't know, Space Jam is a
Why don't you have the one with the
animated
names on it?
and like what?
Why?
Can I put it over here?
I don't like that.
It's cool.
I don't like it.
And I'm probably not going to do that anymore.
Good.
And
And what is this? I'm intrigued now.
you're intrigued with the loved ones. I will tell you, this is one of those movies that when people say, hey, what's a good horror movie that I probably haven't seen? This is the one I dig up
Is she in it?
often.
Is
Oh
she?
yeah, she's the star.
I'm intrigued.
And
I'm never intrigued at horror
it's
movies.
an Australian film.
Oh, subtitles.
No, it's in English. Australian, not Austrian.
Oh.
Australian.
Still, that's another country.
Yeah, they just talk funny.
Okay.
And actually, I'm trying to think. I don't think the accents are too bad in this because you really don't make out people's accent when they go, ah! What are you doing? Ah! Like that. You don't really hear the accent.
Oh my God. You know what? Oh my God. I never saw that come in my life. But I might watch this when I get home. I am really intrigued on this.
I love this movie. What I will tell you is at the beginning, you're going to wonder if you have the right movie because the setup is very much like an episode of Dawson's Creek. It's like they're getting ready for the
I never saw
prom
that.
and that. Well, it's teen angst. You know, they're.
Am I jumping in the middle of this bowl of soup or not?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so in this.
Perfect.
One. Yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but
That's what she said.
But this movie at the beginning, you are going to wonder, have I got the right one?
Okay.
Just wait, because once it starts, there will be no more question, is this really a horror movie?
Okay. All right.
It will, and the other thing it does is it kind of looks like it's going to be a certain type of horror movie, and it's Hold My Beer time. It's like, no, we're doing this.
But
And what the frick is this?
But here's the thing. I'm kind of worried now because I want to watch this and I'm going in with high expectations. I should go in with like I do with all of them. I should go in low. I should go in low.
I will say, some people really thank me for this. What
Some people thank you.
And
Oh,
some people say, "What did you do to me, you asshole?" And here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jeff. This movie, I like to give to people
that
have seen a lot of horror movies because it's a movie, and at this point, you've seen plenty. This is a movie that kind of plays with your expectations.
Okay.
So you'll be sitting there thinking, "Oh, I'm going down this path." Like you, a lot of times, you're always like trying to figure out which way it's going to go. You're going to be very frustrated because you're going to think it's going this way. No, we're doing this, and then it goes like that, and then it goes.
This isn't the society.
No, this isn't society.
Okay.
It's different.
Okay, let's roll.
It's different.
Let's roll. I'm up for different.
It'll be interesting how you feel about this one. I'm
all right.
Looking forward to it. Hey, everybody. Guess what?
We've come to the end.
We're done. We're kind of done. It's time to close the crypt, and we're going to call the game. Thank you all for watching, and remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, YouTube, and other fine places that you find podcasts. But I want to remind everybody, and this is an important safety tip, Jeff.
Oh, God.
If it is sports, it's a home run.
Oh, really?
If it's horror, run home. We're dead on the bases, and we'll see you next time. Ah! And I'm going to say, do you need an Australian accent? Because I just worked on that.
Oh my God.
It's like this. Ah! Mate.
Shrimp on the Barbie, mate.
Mate.
Man, oh man.
This is a knife.
Subscribe, like, and comment on our posts all over social media and our site, otherworldlyculture.com.